Welcome back to another episode, number 4 of the Unrestricted Flow'S Podcast. We are back with a friend of mine, Bree, fellow
Was
gamer and photographer. I'm gonna let her speak, introduce herself, and then we're gonna get right into today's episode. Bree, take it away.
Hi guys. My name is Bree. I'm from Jersey, and I do photography and graphic design, and I
Mm,
crochet a little.
nice. Now, what's some hobby of yours, Bree, that you into besides
Um,
photography?
well, right now I'm crocheting. I'm making a blanket. And I watch anime, so that takes a lot of time to do, especially when you're starting One Piece. So yeah.
Interesting. Now, what is your favorite animation anime?
My favorite one, I don't know. I like Attack on Titan a lot. It's very gory.
Would you say that's like your number one episode? TV show.
My number one? Probably so far.
Probably. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my
I
favorite too.
think One Piece is like coming up because I'm on like 500 something, so I'm halfway there. I feel like it's creeping up there.
Oh, Lord have mercy, it's 500 something. That's
Yeah,
all.
'cause there's a thousand episodes of One Piece. The longest running anime.
I don't know. I still don't doubt it's gonna catch up to Attack on Titan. No matter how many episodes it got, but it can try.
Yeah.
But okay. So where you from? Like, tell the audience where you from. What's your nationality?
Um, I'm from Jersey. My mom's Italian. My dad's Portuguese African. From Lobito, but then he moved to Portugal and then moved here. So
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. So how was the culture in Portugal where you grew up?
Here is just like my family, but now there's more like Brazilians coming in around here. So there's more like food coming in, like more places to go.
Okay.
But yeah.
Like from here or Portugal?
Well, I mean, it's Brazilian food, but it's kind of like almost similar. There's like similar things. To get like Portuguese food, like desserts and stuff, have to go all the way up to like Newark. That's like an hour away.
Really?
Yeah.
So how's the culture between like here and out there?
Between here and like Portugal
Yeah,
is
like
so
something specific,
different.
like
It's so different. Like here, I feel like just in general, people here, it's like they rush to do everything, and I feel like it's always like do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And over there in Portugal, like it's more relaxed, it's more calming to like be around, and they're like actually, I feel like they're more living, like enjoying life versus here when people are just like going through jobs, just doing stuff to do stuff, not to like enjoy life, kind of.
so you say here
If
is
that
more
makes sense.
working.
Yeah, like people are more like in your face about stuff, I feel like. Versus there it's more relaxing, like you do your thing. Like there's even like nap times like work like nationwide where you like take a nap for like an hour, everything shuts down, you rest and then you eat. Well, you eat, you then rest, and then you go back to like your life.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You have nap time? It's like we in the
Yeah,
kindergarten or something.
like literally like I think it's like around 2 o'clock in the afternoon there. Like they literally like at least that's what I know. Like there's parts that like shut down and you just go and you rest and then you come back and you do your thing.
Hmm. Now, what would you say the culture is? How the culture is differently, like gender wise, between men and females? Because I know that
I
specifically in Mexico, they say the gender and how things go currently is a little different.
I don't really know like about that like necessarily like I've only been there like on vacation and like when I was younger.
Hmm.
So I couldn't really like tell you much about like how society norms in Portugal and Europe are like versus here. I don't know.
So you haven't really seen nothing that was like out of the ordinary.
No, but like when I went on my trip, this like how long ago was that? Maybe let's say like 3 years ago. It was like me and my cousin, and we were going out to eat. Like it was all the group, and then we were in the back of the group, There was these men actually trying to like snatch us up, like out in the middle of the street, and like we ran to like catch up with the group so they wouldn't like come near us. That was like the scariest thing.
Wow. I thought y'all were gonna get kidnapped.
They literally were like, "Oh, do you want something? Like, you want to come over here and like?" And we're like, "No,
Wow,
we're
that's crazy.
good." And we like literally screamed for my cousin, her brother, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
But it was like older like gentlemen. It was like older guys trying to do
Mm.
that, and we were like, "No, we're good."
Wow, that's crazy. Now you said, now you said that's one of your other hobbies besides anime was like knitting.
Crocheting,
You said what? Say that again.
crocheting.
Listen,
We
you
talked about
listen.
this on
You
your
know my
stream.
language ain't equipped to be saying words like that. It's gonna get difficult. Who is spamming my phone? Like it's just crocheting.
Yeah.
Okay, explain what crocheting is.
So crocheting is where you take a hook, um, and it's only one, and you just like create projects out of like yarn. So it could be hats, blankets, whatever. Like whatever you could do with knitting, you could essentially do with crocheting. But crocheting, like it's different, I guess, the way you handle, the way you like loop things together and such. Like crocheting is like stitches, and you like use the two needles for knitting. But crocheting is just one needle, one hook, and you make like loops.
Sorry about that, Brie. I had somebody spamming my phone and ended up with family. But I heard everything you crocheting and you was explaining how with the one tool and you was putting together with the knitting
Yeah.
covers and stuff. Now, currently, what are you working on with that with crocheting, like the skill, or is it a skill or hobby?
I mean, it is a skill because like it's for me, it's not hard to like learn new things if I'm shown it like visually.
Mm-hmm.
So my aunt is teaching me how to do that. Well, she taught me how to do it. So I'm making the blanket, and I'm almost done with it. I literally have two sides of the blanket left, and then I'll be done.
Alright, so
So,
so can you show like a quick little picture, like maybe the picture you showed me?
picture I can, but not the blanket because like it's in the other rooms.
Yeah. Cause I mean, when I saw the picture, it looked like it was done. I was like, you said you're not done. I'm like,
Nah, it's
what
not
else
done
is it to
yet.
do?
The edge, so it's like a border because like there's that middle pattern.
Okay.
And then I'm making a pattern, like a simple pattern on the edge
So you're basically doing
of
like
it.
decorations to it.
So I don't know if you can see it. I know it's not. It's not focusing. Crap.
Whatever.
It's not focusing because of the blur. Hold up. Let me take out the blur.
I gotta learn how to do that blur too.
I don't know how to take it off.
If you can't take it off, don't worry about it. But
Yeah, I don't think I can.
yeah, don't worry about it.
But I mean, you could show it. You have it. I sent it to you. It's the same picture.
Well, I'm gonna try to. And do you plan on like making more blankets?
Well,
After?
I'm gonna. Yeah, after I'm gonna make mine. So I already have the most of the yarn for it, but I know I'm gonna need more because I only got 20 balls of yarn, and I already got like 4 extra for this one. So, and that's only queen size,
So this is
and this is yeah. So you see at the bottom how there's like a simple just bottom pattern that's different from the top.
yeah.
That's what's going around the whole blanket. Is that pattern?
Oh really?
Yeah, that's like the edge of it.
Mm.
And then mine is gonna be the same thing but in black, and it's gonna be for king size. That's a queen size.
I said, whose blanket is that you're making?
I can't say it right now because he probably actually no, I don't think he can hear me. It's for my brother. His birthday is the 17th, so I need to finish it within 12 days.
You ain't got too much time.
I think I'll be okay.
You think?
Yeah, I think I'll be done with it.
I mean, it looks almost done anyway. So I mean,
Yeah, I think I'll be finished.
you probably got to wait on the. You just need more yarn, right?
No, I already got it. I already bought it. I just need to actually do the edges, and I'll be done.
Oh, so you got 12 days to do the edges.
Yeah.
How long would that take?
Uh, maybe like 2 days, and then my aunt needs to help me do one last thing to like keep it all together, kind of. And I need to hide all the. So when you combine the two balls of yarn, you have to like make a little knot to keep them together.
Okay.
And then there's like extra string coming out. You need to like tuck those into the blanket so it doesn't come out. So
Mm.
that I need to do that too.
Okay. Okay. And now you say yours, you're gonna make it black, right?
Yeah, it's gonna
Now.
be the same material, like fuzzy like that.
Okay.
But it's gonna be black. It's gonna be the same pattern probably, but just for king size.
Okay. 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 Now, who chose that color? Like, is this something you just chose? Or you chose that color?
I
For your,
think it.
listen.
Because we have like gray sheets and blue sheets. So I was like, the the gray is like light gray. I don't really like that. So I was
Okay.
like, might as well just keep it black so it's clean. No,
Man, I got. Me personally. I'm black, so I'm like, give me black. Like, don't give me gray, because it's like now we in between.
like
I
all my
need
clothes are black, so
all of them.
not all of them, but like most of them are like darker colors.
So like, okay, so like it could be like a dark red, dark green.
Yeah, I have a dark like a olive green pants that are nice, like things like that. But mostly, a lot of my uh, clothes are black
Also, you
because
basically,
like sweat and things like that.
so you like the nightlife basically if you wearing all dark clothes.
Well, it's for like okay. So when I used to play soccer, I always got black because like sweat. If you get like white, it's gonna turn yellow and gross. If you sweat a
Yeah,
lot, it's gonna be nasty. In gray, you can see the stains. Like black is just you can't really see through it.
yeah, but you playing soccer,
it
so it's
looks
like,
it looks cleaner.
you so you trying to look clean even though you're dirty.
Yes and no. Like I'm not trying to show my sweat stains off.
I mean, you playing soccer. I would be like suspicious. I'm like, hold on, now you just came from soccer and you ain't sweating. Oh, did you even do anything? It'd be kind of that look, cause it's like, where's the sweat stains at? Where's the
I'm
sweat?
not trying to show those off. Like.
I mean, listen, it is what it is. You can't be. I mean, would you go? Alright, so like, let's say it like this, right? Since you say you keep clothes on that's darker, and you want to keep it from showing the stains, would you take those same clothes and go out?
No.
No.
You mean like the same clothes that like I used?
Yeah, like go somewhere.
Mm,
I ain't saying like no
no.
event with no dress, no nothing, like no dinner or nothing like that.
No.
I'm talking about like you going to a family member's house or something like that.
Well, I feel like that depends. Like when I was younger, like soccer used to be like until late, like for practice and stuff. So like if I'm going from soccer to go to eat, probably like unless I feel gross.
Well, I mean, well, what do you mean? How? Because I mean, you playing soccer, so you're gonna sweat regardless. So how gross do you need to feel before you be like, no, I'm not. I'm changing.
Like I feel like if I got dirt on me or like grass or like turf all over me or like
Okay.
blood.
Okay. 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 I get
Like
that
if I
part.
just sweat and it's like like when you're in the cold temperature, it kind of like goes away in a sense because you're cold, like the cold air is hitting you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. So like if that happens, like whatever, then you go after, go back home, shower, whatever, and then go to sleep. But like it's like kind of gone, but not really. Like
Okay. I get that. I get that. Now you said switch subjects back real quick. You said your passion is photography, right?
yes,
Now tell us, how did you get into that? How did that come about?
like when I was younger, like I've always been an artsy person.
Okay.
Like I draw, paint, arts and crafts, things like that. Like I've always been that type of person. I still
Okay.
am. But one day I just like picked up my aunt's camera. She let me take photos, and I started from then, since like middle schoolish.
So
Started
like
doing that.
at that time,
So
like what did you like? What type of pictures was you taking?
I was just taking pictures of everything.
Of everything.
Like nature, like everything. Like just go around, take pictures.
So you're saying you basically have like a eye for any type of like.
I have more an eye for like nature. I like macro. I have a macro lens, so I really like getting like little itty bitty details, like things that people don't really notice, but it's around them all the time.
Okay.
I like doing that a lot.
So would you say that anything through a lens has a certain like beauty to you? Or is it like you take the picture and you do you do your little work and then
No, you capture it with the lens, with your
capture
eye.
with
And
your
then if it needs editing, you edit it. I don't like editing in the sense where like you look at a photo and you completely it looks like a whole nother photo. Like in my mind it's like you take the shot as if you're not gonna edit it almost. Like
okay.
maybe you brighten it a little more, but not like modify the whole thing where it's something different. In my mind. That's what I think. Like
Okay, so it's like you basically just capturing a picture of whatever you see. And
yeah,
that's the beauty, like whatever.
yeah, that's the beauty in it.
Okay, okay, so
Like my teacher when I was doing we actually did film, she was like, if your camera doesn't zoom in, you are the manual zoom. You move your body, you move however you need to move the camera to where it needs to be placed.
hmm, that's interesting right there.
Like if you need a backup, back up. If you
Okay.
need to get really close, get really close. Like you are the manual zoom.
Hmm. Yeah, it's funny how you said that. There's a movie of what's it called? It was called some. I think it was called Major No Adventures of Tom something. When he basically was looking for this, he was working for a photography firm. Like they post pictures in magazines, and this guy that he was looking for because he was famous in the movie, and he sent him a film of pictures that he posted, but he was missing one, and he was basically searching for him because he was going to lose his job if he didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And the photographer, as he's going to look for him, he's in all these crazy places in Greenland and all types of volcanic areas and everything. And as he see him, like you see him in certain spots, he's literally like this guy taking pictures from an airplane of a volcano erupting, or he's on a mountain high peak, like on in between the rocks, like taking pictures of mountain lions, like in dangerous areas. So it's like, damn, you as a photographer, you really gotta like really get in there just to take that
Yeah.
one photo. And like they be
Yeah,
like, hold on.
I would love doing that. Like honestly, that's probably like my dream job is like doing those type of photography, like nature photographs, like out where the volcano is, out like where the animals are, things like that.
Yeah, but you gotta get dangerously close. Like you might get a
I
little burned.
know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I
And
don't
you
know if
also have
I'm
to have patience.
true. I've seen that. You'd be waiting
You
there for
have to
hours.
have patience. I've seen like documentaries where like people literally have to sit there like days on end waiting for like the animal to come out and things like that just to get that one shot. Just to get that one shot.
Days.
Yeah, because like think about it. Animals some animals have like they herd and they go from like north to south, whatever, for the temperature, for hibernation or whatever, and they move. So like you're not gonna exactly be at that spot. They're not gonna come out to you. You have to go out to them and try to find them. Like you have to look for them.
So what animals would that be?
And things like probably like bears. Like bears go into hibernation. You have to wait for them to come out. There's like even butterflies. Butterflies they go from like the north to the south and vice versa. So you have to wait for them to fly past you. Like even like what you call it, not only animals but like space photography and things like that, and night photography. You have to wait for like the asteroid to come around or the moon to be setting on a specific location, or for the eclipse to happen. Like you have to wait.
Okay, I get that point, but I mean, a bear is like, it really would take that long for a
Or
bear.
like when you see like when you're trying to get a shot of like animals fighting, like you have to wait for that to happen.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, they gotta fight.
Like
They gotta
you can't
fight.
just be like, "Hey, fight!" Like you can't just like, you have to wait for it to happen. You have to stay there and just wait.
I mean, the quickest way to do it is like humans be like, go to animal and be like, yo, I think this guy right here was talking shit about you, and just like let them
Imagine
just
if you could just do that. Be like, "Hey,
exactly.
yo."
Okay, so in your experience as a photographer, how long have you had to wait to take that one perfect shot?
I've waited throughout the night to do clips.
Clips
Like
of
throughout, like I stayed up all night doing an eclipse, or just even like specific like moon shots.
okay,
Or yeah, those are the longest that I've waited, are like throughout the whole night. But I've also waited for when I was doing this project where it's long exposures and you have to wait for like cars to pass through at night.
mm-hmm.
Nobody's awake at night, like at 2 o'clock in the morning. So you
Yeah.
have to wait for like cars to just like pass through and hope you get like the right
oh,
thing.
to like you gotta basically time it.
Yeah, but you have to keep the lens open. When you click it, you have to keep the lens open so it records what's happening. So you have to do it right before they're coming into the shot, and make sure you have the right type of exposure up, and then get that shot through it.
So are you capturing the car, or are you capturing the blur of the car?
You're capturing the light of the car going through, like those streams. Have you seen those?
Okay, yeah,
Like the streams of the headlights,
yeah. Okay.
like things like that.
Oh, so okay. I'll say now. Now is it possible to capture like a like if you look up an engine of any city and they like you see the highway and you be seeing like a whole bunch of blurs of red lights and
That's what that is.
so you do that like from a photography angle, or it has to be like you just take a Google image.
Oh, you do that. Like that's what I'm explaining. Like the blurs of the lights. That's what you do. You have to set up, like I've seen people set up on like bridges of the overpass, like for the highway ones,
Yeah.
and you just have to set up, point it down. You have to have a tripod because there's no way you're taking those shots without a tripod.
Okay.
Because if you take it without a tripod, you're gonna end up moving, and it's gonna end up coming out like even create like nothing's gonna be in focus when you do that. So you need a tripod with you. The best thing would be to get a remote. I don't have a remote though, but when you click it, you can see that it like if you do it too hard, it'll like shake the camera for a little bit when you click it, and then you get those lights. You have to put it on a certain amount of time to keep the lens open to capture all of that.
Okay. So like, how would you? Okay. So what would be like a? So let's say you was taking a picture of downtown. I'm not sure what angle you would be at to catch her. You probably like have to like. You probably have to catch like the courts because that would be the best vantage point. So you would probably, if you was to get like an angle of downtown with the blurs, you would probably be in the middle of downtown and then pointing up.
I don't know what you're talking about downtown. Like downtown where?
Downtown North.
Newark? I don't know. I don't know like the roads like that. I've only go to like specific places. But like if you were to, let's say like, I don't know, this is like the highway passing through right the road.
Okay.
And if you want to get this road, if there's a bridge going over, you set up on top of the bridge, pointing through the like fence or whatever area, facing that way, and you set it up and you do that.
Now, how would you catch a more like wider view of that? Like when you can
You would
see like
need like
multiple.
you would need like a wider lens. It just depends on the lens you have.
Okay.
But you would need probably a wider angled lens to get, like if you want to get like a huge landscape, that's like a lens you need
And you
to
would
do
need a
that.
higher vantage point, right?
It just depends, like what you're trying to capture, what point of view, and things like that. Like I've seen people do that, but like in freaking airplanes.
Well, yeah, that makes more sense. But the airplane has to be staying still.
Um, yeah, I've seen people use what are they called? Like the mounted things, like the I don't remember the name for them. You hold them, and like wherever you go, it stays in the same spot. It's like for recording as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people use those, and it'll like the camera will stay in the same spot, but like even if you're shaking, it'll stay mounted.
Are you talking about with the big long sticks, for when they doing like film or something like that?
Kind of like there's ones where like you can handheld them, and it does that. It has the same effect.
Or they have it on they may put it on their shoulder and it's like hold it.
Some people do that. I've seen ones where like you could like strap it to yourself and you hold it like this for
That
like
thing must be
recording and things like
it
that.
must be mad heavy.
Probably.
Would you be
I
willing to
don't
do something like that? Have
like
a
that.
huge
No,
camera.
like that's not my like preference. No. My preference is to go out and go see the animals.
Okay. So you want to be in the
Or astrophotography. I don't mind staying up all night to capture images.
really? Alright. So how long did it take you to like? Well, you said all night, but like, how was you able to determine like each picture you was going to take when you like the moon was changing?
You just see it through the lens and you just keep clicking.
So it's like, how would you like be like when you look at
Like
it? Be
you
like,
set it up already, like you have it set up already, and then you follow like how the moon is like moving. Because throughout the night, the moon moves from point to point,
so
so you
was it
just have to
like,
follow it.
so was it like every 30 minutes or every hour or something like that?
I would say like maybe every 30, between that time, yeah, essentially. You
So
would
they,
have to like move a little bit as it's moving.
oh, you gotta move.
You have to move like your camera. Sometimes you have to move throughout, because I was in a house, it was freezing.
Okay.
So I would open the window up and take it. But like sometimes it would go lower and I couldn't take it from that point. So I had to move.
Within 30 minutes, it would go that low.
Not within like 30 minutes, like throughout the night. So like if I started in the beginning of the night, like at one window, I would say like maybe halfway through the night, I would have to like switch to a different spot.
Oh, and you made a clip out of that.
No, I took photos like throughout the thing. I need to figure out how to do like I've seen people who take all their multiple photos of like eclipses and they make it like one whole photo, like a
Mm.
collage essentially, and you can see like how it moves. It
Hmm.
goes down like that.
Mm. Okay, so it's very obvious that you got a deep passion with photography. Now, how deep do you go as far as like learning photography? Besides, like you go to school. Well, you went to
Well, I
school
went to
for.
college for it, so
Well, I mean, like some things, certain things, people like do more research or they have somebody idolize
yeah.
for their work.
Like if I see like something's not coming out the way I want it to, and I've seen it before, I'll go and research. I'll be like, why isn't this coming out? And I look up and I keep going through. Or I'll message like one of my teachers that I've had. I'll be like, I did it. I set up my camera at this and this and this, but it's not doing it. How do you know how to do it? Like I try to figure it out as fast as I can, depending on the situation. Like if I'm in like taking the pictures right now and I need to figure it out right now, I gotta look it up fast.
Uh,
But if it's like, oh, I could do this tomorrow, let me figure it out today, then I'll do that.
okay, so do you have anybody that you like look up when you looking at photographies or anything like you can get
Like a
ideas on?
person?
Yeah,
No.
no, not at all.
No, I don't have like I know there's a lot of people who have like specific people they look up to, but like I feel like I look at all these different types of photography, so there's not one specific person who does like everything. So I just look up like on Instagram. I'll go through the National Geographic profile,
Okay.
and I'll look up like all the like just to get ideas and things like that.
Hmm.
And there's some photographers who actually show like their image, and then on the next like slide, like when you slide through the photos, they'll
Hmm.
show like the f-stop, the ISO, and things like that, and the aperture, like how they did it. And it's like, here, you could do it like this too if you want to do it, which is very helpful.
Okay, so what type of camera do you have that you use to take pictures with?
I have the Nikon D7100.
And what tools and garages that you got with that, like modified to?
I have the two lenses. I have the, I think it's 0 to 55 lens, and then I have the 50 to, is it 300 zoom, and then I have a portrait lens and a macro lens.
So how much did all that cost to get that together?
That was actually a gift for me, and it was like a package, like it
Okay,
was a set. So I think it was around like 1,000 or more
1,000.
for
That's
like,
not bad.
because I think it was like on sale or something like that. But it was around Christmas time that I got it because I was going into the courses, so I needed a camera.
I mean, yeah, you gotta take pictures, so you gotta like actually
Gotta do
have
my
some.
homework.
Exactly, exactly. So what type of in class? What type of homework did they have to go through besides taking pictures of moons?
You have to do like photo history, art history, and everything. The
Photo
photo
history.
history is insane course to do, like to memorize. So our final was one of the parts of the test. She would show like 5 different pictures. You had to know the date that it was taken.
Mm.
You had to know the photographer. You had to know the subject matter, and I think you had to know what else? I think there was something else. Like, what else you need to know? You need to know those 5 things. But she gave you a packet of 50, and she only chose 5 out of the 50 for you to do. So you had to memorize everything because you didn't know
Everything.
what was coming up.
Oh, you had to memorize all 50 pictures.
Yeah, because you didn't know what was coming up on the test. She would give you different tests. Like each person would have a different one.
So it wasn't on the photo where you like had to find it.
Mm-mm. She gave you the photo, and you had to name like the person, the date, the subject matter, whatever, like where it was taken,
How the hell
everything.
would you find that?
She gave you a packet to study, but it was 50 photographs, and she would only choose like 5 or 10 of those on the actual test. But you had to memorize all of them because you didn't know what was coming up.
So like she had the instructions on how to find that information.
Yeah, we had a packet, like a study packet,
Okay.
but it was all 50 images. And she was like, here's 5 out of those. So you had to memorize everything because you didn't know what she was going to pick out of those 50, you know?
Sheesh. 50
Yeah.
photos.
That was probably one of the most intense tests I've taken.
I don't know. I feel like that shouldn't be that hard. I mean, it's 50. That's a lot, but
It shouldn't. It shouldn't, but it was.
it was because I mean you
You
had
have to
to.
memorize 50 photographs, and each one is the date, the person, the subject matter, and some. And I know there was another fourth thing about it.
Well, I would say if you memorizing all 50, I say
Out of
the
50, do 50 times 4.
well.
That's
I,
like 200 and something information in
yeah, but I feel
general.
like wait,
And that was only one part of the test. That was
did
one
any
part
of the
of the
50
test.
have the same person on it?
No,
None. It was all different.
it was all different.
So that part, as far as the name and the photo, should have been a little easy.
The part that it was hard, it was the time period. The time period was the hardest thing to memorize because the dates went from like 18 something to like almost present day.
Damn. It probably had like some of the. Did all the times was different or some of it was the same?
No, some of them were like years apart, but some were like just everywhere.
Well, if she really wanted to make it hard, she could have had some of them where it was like,
She made it hard. Trust me, that test was.
I
That was
mean,
one of
but
the hardest tests I've taken.
if she would have made it to where it was like out of 50 and some of them had the same date, then you have to be like, okay, hold on, I know like about three of these got the same timings and then different names and stuff.
It would be like some of them would only be like a year or two apart though.
So
Some of them.
it'd be like, damn, like
It'd be
hold
like
on,
really close. You'd be like, ah, oh.
that's crazy.
Yeah. That and then like I don't know, I get nervous when like standing in front of like everybody. So like just presenting your work was kind of like hard for me.
Really, you got stage fright?
Yeah, like not stage fright, but like I would just get nervous. I'd get anxiety.
So how was it? Like, did you smoothly get through it, or you just still was nervous that whole thing?
I was still nervous. Like I'd be shaking sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
That bad?
Yeah.
How did that develop?
I don't know.
It
I
was like
just
you always
would
had
get
that. I mean, as a
anxious.
soccer
Yeah.
player, you gotta play in front of people
That's
watching.
different. That's so different.
How? I mean, it's you outside with people watching you.
No, but it's different.
Well, the only difference I'll say is that you ain't the only person on the field, so like they ain't just targeting you.
But on top of it, it's like you're focused on playing. You're not focused on the people around you.
Well, I mean, if you present something, you focus on what you're presenting, not the people that's staring at you.
I don't know. It's just presenting. It's because you're like looking. You're standing in front of everybody. You're looking at them. They're all their eyes are on you, and you can see them looking at you. And you're like, "Here's my work." And then some people we would critique. So like some people would be like, blah, 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 and like I don't know. To me, that like gets to me. Like it chips away a little bit.
When somebody's like judging your work.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we talking about the students or the teacher?
the students, because we would always critique our works.
Really? So like they would like be like they would give their little opinions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it only gets you better, but
I know,
that's
but like it sometimes it like chips away at you're like, oh, I think I did good, and then like people are chipping away at you. I
that they
don't
would
know.
say they don't think that's that good.
Sometimes some people are really nice, and then there's like people who are just blunt.
How blunt would they get?
Oh, pretty blunt.
They'd be like, "This is not that good. You could have did
They'll be
better."
like, yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean that's better because that way that you get better at your own craft, getting feedback. But at the same time, it's different too, though, because I mean it depends. But it's like that's your work and your style of doing it. Opposed to them,
Exactly.
they're judging your style. So it's like you can judge it, but that's only if you judge it based off of like you know that person's style and you know they can do better than that. Opposed to like you just saying, "Oh, I don't like your style," then it's like you can't do nothing about that. You just being an asshole, kind of in this sort of way like that. Have you ever had like a okay? What's your greatest photo? Like, what's the best photo you ever had?
My best. I don't know. I like my macro stuff a lot, but I also I like the portraits that I've taken with my cousins and family members, where I did this whole series of like they're not neon lights because they're not the like original bulb neon lights
Yeah,
because now everything's like LEDs.
yeah.
But I took a whole bunch of portraits like that, and I went like
Mhm.
out to like somewhere like a pharmacy that had those lights around the windows, somewhere like a tattoo shop, and we just went around doing that.
So being told that you're a photographer, I got a feeling that you do a lot of taking pictures and posting on social media, don't you?
I don't. I
You
actually
don't?
need to no, but I have a website that we had to do for um like the end of the year thing for like seniors.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a website that has my graphic design in one category, my photography, and then my like art stuff that I've done throughout school years, but I need to make a whole new website of just like my photography stuff up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotta show the world your work.
Yeah, I have to make that. I actually have to like get on top of that.
Yeah. I mean, you want a dream job and travel in the world and do photography. You want to get paid for it. You gotta see your work.
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta do that already though, without having like to have a job for that.
What do you mean?
So like just traveling around your area or going
Oh yeah.
like vacation, bringing a huge camera with you and just taking pictures. So
Yeah.
it's like,
I do that sometimes like when I'm like, "Oh, I saw this idea, I want to go do it." So I'll take like people cuz usually it's at night and like I don't want to go out at night by myself. I don't know who's going to come and get me, you know? So I have to like kind of depend on somebody to come along with me
okay.
because when I like get hyper focused, I don't pay attention to like stuff around me. So yeah,
So mess around with somebody sneak up on you and you're not paying attention.
yeah, I
Not
need
even
to.
like the noise or nothing.
No, I get hype. I get so focused that like I don't pay attention to anything.
I mean, it depends on the picture. I mean, I can't see you. I can't see you taking nothing that good to where you need to be there for a while.
Mm, like I said, you have to be patient. You have to wait.
Would you want me to take a picture of a rat getting out the trash can or something? Like, oh, you gotta be patient next to the
No,
trash
because
can.
like okay, so when you take like long exposures, like I said, you have to wait for the cars to come through. You have to wait for like even this like stuff in the sky. You have to wait to see like maybe somebody's gonna turn off the light next door, so there's not as much light. Things like that.
Yeah, yeah. But if it's something that you like don't usually take, then I feel like it should be easier. I mean, like for example, if you was to go to like Jersey City Pier,
I've never went there.
you never went there, but you're near the area.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
What city you live in?
That's like an hour away from me. Jersey City is like an
That's
hour
not
away from me,
far.
or two.
That's not far. That's not far.
That's kind of far.
I mean, if you don't have a car, maybe, but it's. I mean, you ain't like you take a half of the day to get there. It's not that far, so it's like boom right at the Pierre, and then you just
I go
automatically.
to sometimes I go to Asbury, sometimes I go to Pure Village over here. But it's yeah, like I have to layer up because it's so cold around here. Especially
Well,
during this time, it's fucking freezing.
well, right now because last two
Yeah,
days was freezing, but today's a little. It wasn't as cold as it was. It's
yeah,
supposed to be getting warmer tomorrow. It's supposed to go get warmer tomorrow, like 49 or something like that. I think.
yeah. I'm waiting for it to like get
I'm really waiting
warmer.
for the spring so I can like stop wearing hoodies and jackets all the time. So
Yeah, I feel you.
but yeah, photography passion. That sounds like a good career to get into, especially a lot of traveling. Now there's a job. I don't know really too many details about it, but I think I've seen or I've thought I've seen. There's like some jobs where they pay you just to travel. Is that an actual
Are
thing?
there? Is that a thing?
I I
If that's
swear.
a thing, sign me up.
Like people with I would say on Instagram, like people just be taking pictures in all different types of places, and they'll be like, "This is my job." They get paid to like go to different places and try stuff out. I'm like, I don't never heard of that job. I don't.
I haven't either, but that sounds pretty good to me.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know
Like if
what
I got
type.
paid to just travel,
Yeah,
the only
and
thing that would suck is actually being in the airplane.
you don't like
But
airplanes?
no, it's just that like it gets cramped.
Cramped?
Yeah, like you get if you're sitting on a flight for like 7 hours, sitting in one spot, that's gonna like
Well,
you're gonna be like cramping, like your legs are gonna be cramping and shit.
I mean, I've been the longest I've been in a flight was about 5 hours, and I was going to Las Vegas,
I
and
think mine was 8 hours
eight
just to
hours.
Italy.
Yeah,
to
I would
Italy.
have stood for a couple hours, stand up. I'm like, or I'm jumping off the plane because I'm like, I need to get off this plane. I need to get. I need to move because especially when I went to Las Vegas, it was.
But can you imagine going to like Australia? That would be like that's a whole half a day or more
I mean,
just being in the airplane.
isn't going to like Japan or China like you gotta take like 2 flights?
Yeah, but still, you gotta take half of that whole half a flight and then another half. That's like crazy.
How
No,
many
that's
hours is that?
pretty long.
I was just talking. Well, it's a place. I think it's Jamaica.
Jamaica's not that far from here.
I no, it was Jamaica or
There's
Africa.
no
One of them two
maybe
places. It was you gotta take 2 flights and it's about 15 hours.
you don't have to take 2 flights. Some go straight, but
It's gonna be longer.
it's gonna be longer, and it's more. I think it's more expensive just to go straight. To take like a double, like the double flights, is cheaper than doing just straight
Well, yeah, I mean you gotta the
because
one
you have to
plane going
stop.
to one
There's
spot.
even like some that you stop. I think like twice or more.
I mean, if
I
you're
think that's
going to
probably to
like
Australia.
if you're going to Asia, I can see that happening.
Yeah,
But what? Who going that far? Listen, I ain't been on a plane that long. I don't want to be on a plane that long.
I want to go to Japan, so
I
eventually
mean,
I'm gonna have to do that.
listen. I mean, okay. Here's the thing, right? It's gonna be more adventurous if you travel on ground or sea versus the airplane. Cause I'm stuck in a plane. I can't see
How are you
nothing.
gonna get to Japan from here on the ground?
You can drive. You can get a boat. There's this.
It's gonna take like forever
I mean, it'll take
to
forever,
Japan.
but it ain't.
To Japan.
It ain't.
To
It ain't.
Japan.
It ain't about the destination. It's the journey.
To Japan. No, I don't want
Yeah.
that journey.
You know
Not
how
on
many,
a
especially
not
I
on a boat. I'm
yeah.
not doing that to Japan. Hell
To
no.
looks
No.
cargo plane or the fishing boats, and
No.
they
I'm
gotta
good.
they gotta bring stuff to them anyway. I can be a nice
I'm
little
good.
I can be a nice little what do you call
That's
it?
like months I think to go that far.
Months. Well, no, well it'll only be
Yes,
months
from California to Japan
because
on boat.
they're going multiple different places.
I
They're go,
don't. I don't think it takes. I think it takes a while.
I
I would
mean,
not.
if you think about it, it's a lot of things that can play a factor in that because
And then on top of it, freaking tsunamis and shit over there. Mm-mm.
in Japan, or are you talking about on the way to Japan?
Probably on the way there, because California gets earthquakes, Japan gets earthquakes. So either way, from whatever direction the earthquake's coming, there's a possibility of tsunami. I think. So
But
I'm good.
hold on. Just
I'm
because it's an
going through
earthquake
the
don't
airplane.
mean just because it's an earthquake don't mean it's a tsunami coming.
Depends how big the earthquake is. Depends where the earthquake like origin is, how where it crosses on the ocean or not.
When you put it like
I'm
that,
good. I'm going through the airplane.
when you
That's
put it like
probably safer.
I mean, we put it like that. I mean, yeah, airplane sounds better at that point because I'm not trying to die before I even get there. But
Exactly. Like, come on.
but if it's an earthquake and then you're in a plane landing on Japan, that's the worst place to be.
They could probably stop somewhere else.
Where?
In China. If there's an earthquake happening and they can't land, they could probably go to China.
You make it sound like China's around the corner.
Far.
I mean, it's not that far, but it's
It's
still
probably
it's.
like an hour down the road.
Well,
Down the road.
you do recall that you already took an extremely long flight as it is, so they already
I
estimated they got a certain amount of gas or fuel in the plane just to make that trip. So now they gotta be like, oh, we gotta redirect now. Like, do we got the
I
fuel for
still
this?
I still think in like conditions they probably would redirect. I don't doubt that.
But it's probably not often, and then they gotta get clearance from a whole nother. They gotta get clearance from that airport just to be able to
They'll
land.
be like, emergency landing. We're landing here because there's a fucking earthquake in Japan.
Exactly, and then
But they'll be like, okay, it's an emergency. We got you.
yeah, but then what about the incoming flight? They're gonna tell them to slow down so another plane can come in.
Yeah.
You make it sound so easy. I want to see that happen. As a matter of fact, when you go over there, I want you to be like, I want to see if you're gonna have to
I feel like
redirect.
stuff like that happens. Redirecting and like slowing down other flights probably happens more than often than you think.
I doubt it. What would be the reason for that?
If another flight is coming into like fast and they can't slow down, like what if they like the wheel or some shit happens to them, they're probably like, this flight you gotta slow down so this one can come in, or like they die or some shit. Like I don't know.
True, but happening
I
that
just
often?
I feel like they're trained for those situations, so I feel like it's okay.
They're trained, but they're
I feel
trained.
like it's a better situation in emergency where you have to land versus an emergency like, hey, there's a tsunami coming. Hunker down in the boat. Hope for the best.
I mean, if there's a tsunami coming, I don't think nobody's gonna be talking for a while because you're trying to get the hell out that tower versus be worried about a damn plane coming. You're like, they ain't
No,
air that
I'm
good.
talking about like a boat. Like if you're in a boat during a tsunami, I feel like it's just at that point
But you got a better chance of
you're just
survival
screwed.
if you're in the water already.
No, you don't.
What do you mean? You're in a boat. You're meant to.
You're in a boat, and the
Yeah.
boat can sink and go down, and you
No,
can all die.
no, it depends
Versus
on.
an airplane, the tsunami's not going to reach that airplane. They just got to go to another place.
But for example, right? If the tsunami like get caught, like the boat is like caught in the middle, like it's coming at the boat, then it's over. But if it's like not in front of it, then it's fine. All they gotta do is just stay on top of it, behind it. The boat might end up in the land with the
I
water
don't
in the
know.
city, but the boat's still gonna be fine. It's just whatever
I
building
don't.
you just gonna be
I
smacking.
don't know.
You gonna be fine, but you gonna smack mad buildings and all
I
that
don't
stuff.
think so. I feel like if a boat hits another building,
The
I feel
boat gonna be
like
fine. The building not.
you're going to be screwed inside the building,
Well, yeah,
inside the
but
boat.
that's inside the building. The boat's still fine.
I don't think the boat would be okay.
Yeah, the boat. What was that movie?
I don't think the boat would be okay.
I think it was 2012. Yeah.
That was first of all, that boat was specifically designed for situations like that. These
No, no,
boats
no,
are
no.
not designed for stuff like that.
No, not
They
that boat.
literally were expecting a catastrophic thing where there was going to be tsunamis, earthquakes, and like all types of disasters. That was that boat was made for.
No, that was technically a submarine. No, not that
Exactly.
boat. Not that boat. I'm talking about the boat that came through. I think it was somewhere in Asia or something. It was the tsunami came and the boat was on top of it, and it
I don't know.
swung. And I mean, no.
It's probably based off of a movie that was like movies are made up.
I mean, it's a real life situations. So
I don't think that's a real life situation for everything, all that to be happening at once.
what do you mean? A catastrophic
All
happens.
those,
It's apocalypse basically. The whole
all
world
those things,
at
I
the
don't
same
think would
time.
happen at the
Yeah.
same time. No,
Yeah, cause think about it, right? One part, just because.
maybe if a meteor hit us, then it would set off those things. But other than that, I don't think that would happen.
Well, I mean, when Japan gets earthquakes and tsunamis, that don't mean nobody else ain't.
It depends.
I mean, size, whatever.
It depends.
They ain't the only ones getting
Like
them.
if they're getting just enough to make a tsunami, I think they're only getting hit. But if they get like crazy levels of earthquakes, maybe it'll go through. I don't know, but
That's like saying if one
you know,
person.
there was a thing where there's like this island around Portugal, I think, that if it were to have a landslide and like half of the thing falls off because they were actually monitoring it,
Mm-hmm.
if it was to actually slide, it would have caused a crazy amount of tsunamis and it would have hit us and we would have been screwed.
When was this?
This was last year, I think.
Last year.
I think so, yeah. I was keeping an eye on it. I was like, oh, we're so screwed. We're right by the ocean.
And who got hit by a tsunami?
If we did, we would have gotten hit by it. It would have went, I think, almost all of New Jersey would have been done.
Wow. If it hit.
If the, so like, there was volcanic eruption happening,
Yeah.
and if the part, because it was an island, if part of the island actually had gone under, it would have set off waves and a tsunami.
Oh wow. So we got lucky that didn't happen.
Yeah,
Wow. A tsunami in New Jersey.
can you imagine?
I mean, if we would have got fucked up, then New York was getting fucked up too.
I think most of it was, but like the parts that are towards the lakes up north wouldn't have gotten hit or something like that.
Yeah, they would have been fine.
Yeah.
They all the way up there. They ain't near no water. But we being by Elizabeth and stuff.
We would have been screwed.
Yeah, water been all over the place. Oh my god. I can't imagine that.
I was watching that thing the whole time and I was freaking out. I was like, oh, we gotta just grab what we got and go. We gotta go now.
Yeah. Yeah. There actually is there's a theory that I don't know how true this is and I can't confirm it. But it's a thing where like right now like certain places, certain parts of the world have water and rivers that haven't been there in a long time, like years. And I heard that's because you could say global warming, but the ice is melting, so it's causing like the water to rise.
Level to rise, yeah. There's
Yes,
islands that are sinking
yeah,
that are
exactly.
not going to be existent in like a couple years or
Yeah,
more.
and I heard it's a theory that is saying that that's because a long time ago Earth was knocked off its orbital course of its position.
Really?
So it's like it's colder because it's like the position of it is not being hit by the sun. So like now it's been years or decades, whatever. It's going back to where it was. The sun is
Oh
getting more
shit.
heat and melting the ice and having the water go back to where it was.
I don't think it's necessarily the sun in general. I also think it's like all the fuels, all the gases and things that we're doing to this planet that is like also screwing with it. Because if you think about it, like I understand years before, maybe like as you're saying, like the orbit, we weren't in the same spot or whatever,
Yeah,
but we also didn't have cars and electronics and the houses that run on gas and things like that. So it wasn't causing the greenhouse effect and things like that. So I think that's also creating that issue because if you think about it, we have like our atmosphere and it's keeping all what we're making trapped. It's not going out, it's staying trapped. So it's like when you put a lid on boiling water, it's doing that.
it's staying trapped. Explain that to me.
Like the gases are in our atmosphere. It's not, I don't think it's being released into that, into like space or anything. I think all of our gases that we have is staying in our atmosphere.
So you're saying we're causing it to stay there, or just
No, it's just because we have an atmosphere. We have this bubble, you could say, around us that we have air. We breathe in the air. That's why we don't have like
that's true?
no air from like space. If you go to like other planets, like even the moon, they don't have like we can't just breathe it out into space.
True, true.
So it's like putting a lid on boiling water. It's keeping everything in.
Mm. True, true, true. I mean, there's no way of really getting rid of it unless you replace it or just.
But we're not replacing it with anything because we're cutting down our trees that are supposed to be filtering out all this gas and everything like that. And so that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's always something to people always put things in place to fix what we keep messing up, and that's why people coming out with all these electric cars now to like be green for the environment, which is a good thing. But Jesus Christ, I mean, the stuff that they want to create is going to have to need a sacrifice to destroy something, some natural element that needs
Yeah.
to heal the planet.
Every time I see like people chopping down trees, like creating space for like more buildings and stuff, it's like there's a building around the corner that you could have used that's empty. Like I don't
Yeah,
understand
yeah,
why you're
exactly.
chopping down more trees.
Maybe I guess because people pay for it and they want that specific spot for a view or something. People with money stingy, being
But
stingy.
I feel like it should be a requirement. Like if you're purchasing land or whatever, and you're gonna wipe it clean for like new buildings or whatever, I think you should build upon that and have trees and greenery to keep that ecosystem going, you know?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they can do
Like
that.
I've seen there's like these designs that people have created where it's like it has these buildings, but on top of the, like between the buildings there's like greenery coming out, like gardens and things like that. Like even if it's not in the ground necessarily, it's like on these like planters, these parts that have like dirt and stuff for their trees to grow and things like that.
Also, the tree is basically growing on the building.
Yeah,
So you see that
but
you
there's
know,
like specific parts, like specific areas for that, like
so
those
so
the
you probably
greenery
like
and
that's why you
stuff.
probably see houses that be having like stems on the side and all that.
I think that's just because like people don't maintain areas. Like I'm not saying to have it grow on your house, but I'm saying like you don't necessarily need the whole land to be just nothing and concrete. Like you can still have your pool and have trees around and still have your house and still have trees around, just like,
Well, people are
you know,
picky. They'd be like, I don't want to deal with the leaves blowing in my my pool,
like,
and then they don't want birds or animals around.
yeah, but I find that crazy. Like, they were here first.
True, we gotta
Like, you're
coexist
kicking
with
them
them.
out of your house.
Then people will get killed because people be going crazy when animals start playing. Especially a bear just walk right in your house and be
But
like,
that's what happens around here, like in cities and stuff like that. Like, you go and you build your house out in like the woods and you tear down the trees, but then the deers are still crossing the roads. You're hitting deers, you're hitting animals, you're hitting wildlife. Like,
that's true.
they're still there. It's just like
I mean, they pushing them out of
you're
their own
killing
home,
them.
pushing them out of their home. So it's like they basically saying, all right, if you going to intrude ours, we're going to intrude yours.
Yeah.
So it's give or take. Pick your poison. Everything has a cause and effect. So they
Yeah, and
they
that's why the water levels are rising.
yeah. And we're gonna be underwater soon because we close to the water. I'm about to move from this place. I don't want to be nowhere.
There was like I think there's a show called like put like something underwater. Like there'll be like New York underwater or like Alcatraz underwater or whatever. And they show like what happens throughout the years and what would happen, like how far the water would go.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Parts of New Jersey would be underwater. I
Mm-hmm.
think
Pretty soon.
Newark. I think Newark would be fully underwater. New York would definitely be underwater. Uh, like basically
And then
be
on top of it, like there's places that would be underwater, but then there's also places that are getting like evaporating. Like the Dead Sea is supposed to be gone by like 2050 or something like that.
the Dead Sea.
Yeah, the Dead Sea. I
What?
think in Israel, I
That's
think
a
it
certain
is.
part of the ocean.
No, it's a sea in Israel that's like famous because it has high salt content. So people go there because you could float. Like you don't necessarily drown at all there. And it's like a famous place to go to because of that. But like it's supposed to be gone by like 2050 or something.
Because of the water rise?
No, because it's gonna be evaporated. It's gonna be gone.
Why? Because it's like in sunlight all the time.
I just think because they don't get enough like rain or something like that.
Oh,
But I know there's islands around Australia, around the ocean over there. There was a documentary about how all these islands that have like these native people on it are essentially going to be underwater in like a few years because like the water level was already rising and you can see how far like it was going, and the people are like, we're not even going to be able to like say that we're this type of people if our home is not even going to be there, and we're going to have to go like what is it called, maybe go to another country for because you have to be like safe or something. I don't know what that's called.
um,
um but
uh,
basically they're gonna have to go there because they don't have any like home anymore. They don't have like their land. They don't have their country. It's gonna be gone. It's gonna be under the water.
I know what you're talking about. I forgot. I was just talking about. I forgot the name for that. I know what you're talking about. I thought that only meant when like we was running from your country and you couldn't go back no more.
Well, I mean, they are. They can't go back. They're in danger because their house. They're gonna be underwater. So they have to go to another place to live.
Just imagine like that type of danger and what's gonna come with it. Like it ain't just gonna be the water. It's gonna be animals with that too, like
Yeah,
alligators, swamp areas. Oh, Florida definitely gonna be underwater. That's a swamp area. So you're gonna have
that's
alligators,
gonna be
snakes
gone too.
all over the place. It's something about Florida that I went once, but I just don't really see the hype about it. I really don't see. I mean, yeah, maybe like hot weather all the
Can you
time, but
imagine Disneyland is gonna be underwater?
oh yes, yeah, Disneyland. It's gonna turn into
I've never went, but like that's gonna be under the water.
you know what's Disneyland?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
You need to go there. Try it once. That's Disneyland. What do you
There's
mean?
other Disneylands though. There's like isn't there one in California? I think there's one in Japan or something.
At Disneyland Japan?
I think I don't remember if I'm right or not.
I'll
But
be
I know there's
surprised.
other locations. So I mean I don't have to go to the one in Florida.
You don't want to go to Disneyland?
I wanna go see the Studio Ghibli in Japan. They have like a whole amusement park over there for Studio Ghibli. I wanna go there.
Hey, listen. You need to go to Disneyland, see Mickey Mouse and all the little cartoon characters just one time at least. Like I'm not a kid. I don't really care about that stuff no more. So it doesn't. I don't want to see it no more. But I've seen it plenty of times where it's like, oh, ooh, this looks nice. Especially the rides. It's
They
like,
probably don't even have like my favorite Disney movies, anyways. So
what's your favorite Disney movies?
I like the old school Disney movies where there was like Atlantis, El Dorado, Treasure Planet. Like I like those.
Well, how you know they ain't got it?
They probably don't. I don't think they do.
Well, it's called
I'm like
Disney.
90% sure they don't.
you know it's called Disneyland for a reason, right?
I'm pretty sure they don't. Because
I'm
those, I feel like those, whenever I tell people, I'm like, oh, I love Treasure Planet. They're like, what movie? I'm like, it's a Disney movie. You don't know it? And they're like, no.
well,
So,
I don't think Disney is old, so I doubt it. I will highly doubt it. They'll change what they got to what is new now. I doubt it.
no, they do. They do. They have like all the new things up. They have like, what should we call it? What is the one that just came out with the family, the Hispanic family? I forgot
Spy
the name of
Family.
it. I forgot the name of it. The Hispanic family. Like with Bruno, Maribel, them. I
Well,
forgot the name of it.
I don't even watch Disney no more. They got some good stuff on there, but
They definitely change it. They have like turning red stuff up. They have all that.
listen,
I
when they
see
come,
people talk
listen,
about it. I know they don't have all this stuff.
no, listen. I had a conversation with the other guy, a friend of mine's last podcast about we were talking about anime, and one of the things I was talking about is anime and Disney and Hulu, all those little platforms that we love, that we used to watch as kids, that we loved. Nowadays you don't even want to watch it because everything that you grew up on, all the TV shows
It's
that you watched
gone.
and loved, it's just. I mean, when they do remakes and stuff like that, it's not the same.
It's not like the old Teen Titans is not the same as the new Teen Titans.
No, it's all
I
kiddish.
miss the old Teen Titans so
Like
bad.
the old Teen Titans, like it was cartoonish, but it looked as serious. Like there
Yeah,
was a lot of
exactly. Like it
darkness. It was
looks
like watching
crazy.
Gotham City, just in
hmm
cartoon version. It was like serious. Like damn, why is it so grim in here? It's dark.
And then now it's just like all bubbly.
Yeah, like they all kids and stuff. Like what am I watching?
Exactly.
Like you got kids running around here acting silly and fool. Oh man. Like it's like they made it kid friendly, and I don't know why. I don't what. I just don't see what happened in the world for them to be like, we need to make all these good TV shows kid friendly. Like
I felt
what?
like they needed to stay in like I felt like that was made for like teens and adults, that type of stuff. And then they just made it okay for like little kids to watch too, and I was like, yeah, no,
I mean,
shouldn't have
you
done
how
that.
many little even back then we had it was plenty of teenager and adult stuff to watch. Oh.
I don't know.
But back then they had a lot of teenager and adult stuff to watch, but they had plenty of kid stuff to watch, like
Yeah,
Lion King.
you know, it was a TV show that should not have had kids like watching it was Courage the Cowardly Dog. That thing was
That was a very
crazy.
good TV show.
But kids should not have been watching that. That somebody made that on like some type of crazy drug. That was a crazy show. That
I
was
mean,
scary.
well, I mean, well, it's cartoonish and it kind of look a little kiddish, right? But
It was
but
scary. No, that was
I mean, a
scary.
little bit, just a little bit. It's cartoonish, so it's like that's crazy. It's a cartoon that is scary. That's crazy. But I mean, if you think about it, right? It's on a platform called Adult Swim, so it's like it's not for
Was it
kids.
on Adult Swim?
That was Adult Swim on Adult
No, it
Swim.
wasn't. No, it
That
wasn't. It was
was. I'm
regular.
telling you.
No, it was a regular Cartoon Network.
No, no,
I
no,
don't
no,
think it
no,
was
no,
on
no,
Adult Swim.
no. That no, no,
I
no,
don't
no.
think it was.
That because Cartoon Network was during the day, and Adult Swim came on after 12 o'clock, and it
Courage
cursed
the
them.
Cowardly Dog was not after 12 o'clock.
Scout's honor. I promise you it was.
I don't think it was.
It
I'm gonna look
was.
this up right now. I
Yeah,
don't
look
think
it
it
up.
was.
Look it up. I'm telling you,
I don't think it was.
it most definitely was because it was scary. It was like it was
I'm
up
like,
there with it was up there with Robot Chicken. What else? Courage the Cowardly Dog. I can't remember everything. Robot Chicken was crazy. That was an insane TV show. I don't even think they have Adult Swim up there no more. Oh, King of the Hill. What else was up there? I can't remember everything.
it was on Cartoon Network.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yes.
Nah, no way.
Yes, it says it was.
Nah, no way.
Yes.
It says that.
Yes.
Nah, I
It
don't
says it
believe
was
it.
produced and aired by Cartoon Network.
Adult Swim and Cartoon Network must have been working together.
I looked it up. It says, was Courage the Cowardly Dog on Cartoon Network or Adult Swim? And it says Cartoon Network.
Nah, I don't know. No.
Yep.
I
I
remember.
told you.
I
I told you.
remember.
I told you.
I remember Adult Swim coming on. That was on.
It was not on
Nah.
Adult Swim. It was on Cartoon
Was
Network.
it really?
It was during the day. Well, actually, I think it was probably like 9 o'clock or something.
It was definitely dark when that came on.
Yes, but it wasn't. It wasn't 12 o'clock. It wasn't Adult Swim.
It had to be.
Mm.
I never. I feel like
It's
it
what I
is.
just told you.
Nah. It's something about that a little off because I've never watched Curly Cowley Dog with anybody.
It definitely was not on Adult Swim. I
It
know it
had
wasn't.
it had if it was, it had to be like it had to be a TV show that came on right before Adult Swim did.
Probably, but it wasn't Adult Swim. It was Cartoon
Nah.
Network.
I'll have to check my research on that one. I don't believe that. I could sworn. Nah, hold on. No. I don't believe that. No, no, no. I mean, unless it came on after Robot Chicken on Adult Swim, but Robot Chicken was long as hell.
It probably came on before that. Then
That's
it
what I'm
was probably
saying.
like Courage, and then Cartoon, and then the chicken thing you're talking about, Robot Chicken.
Robot Chicken was like, I don't know how much came on before Robot Chicken, but Robot Chicken had like was like the longest TV show. Like when
I
that
don't
came
think
on,
I've
you was
ever
watching that
watched
for.
that.
You
I
never
don't
watched
think
Robot Chicken?
I don't think so. But I've seen, what is the one with they're like, it's a fry, it's on Adult Swim. It was fries, like a meatball and something else.
Fries
I
and a
like
meatball.
vaguely remember that.
Fries and a meatball.
Yeah, but they were like but it was like on, they had faces. It was Adult Swim. I vaguely remember it because I was like clicking through the channels and I saw that. But
Was that a new? That was new.
no, it was old. What is that too? Hold up.
Fries and meatball with a face. I don't know. I don't know.
What is it called? Shit.
On Adult Swim, you sure?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Haha, hold up. No. All these things have like other stuff with it, so it doesn't say what it is. What was this called?
I definitely don't remember no French fries and meatball. I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I think I'm not sure if I was on Adult
It
Swim.
was fries, a meatball, and soda.
Soda.
Yeah.
What's the TV show called?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out.
It's probably called the Fries and Meatball and Soda Show. It's probably called.
It's called Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I did not watch it, but I remember seeing it like as I was going through the channel.
Really? You see the type of stuff they make? Oh, I almost forgot. Uh, American Dad and Family Guy. I think they was on Adult Swim.
I didn't ever watch them all the way. Like I just watched like maybe pieces and parts, but I've never watched like.
You talking about like episodes, or you talking about like?
I don't even think I watched like a full episode.
Really?
I've only seen like pieces and chunks of them.
Why?
I think because like I don't know. I didn't think it grabbed my attention like when I was younger.
Wow. Despite all the crazy stuff that they would be.
I was more into like Teen Titans and stuff.
Well, Team Titans was like during the day.
Yeah.
I was like early in the day.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Teen Titans, I don't think it was. It was like maybe 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock or something. But I mean, they would rerun it like from the beginning and at night. Like they would have like repeats.
So you watched the Avatar and then
Yes.
the Iron Man
I
one.
watched all of Avatar: The Last Airbender multiple times.
Most definitely. That was always on. That
I
was
watched that, and I watched that, but it's newer. Is The Legend of Korra. I watched that I think twice, all the way through.
I watched that, but that was like afterwards.
Yeah,
And
it
then
didn't. It wasn't like
that's when Cartoon Network is what introduced me to Dragon Ball Z. That was my start.
I don't like Dragon Ball Z. Not my thing either.
You
Not my thing either.
You might have to end the podcast right there. You just said that. What?
It's not my thing either. No.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's probably like the drawing style or something. I don't know.
The
It
drawing
doesn't.
style. What
It
part are you
doesn't
talking
have
about?
like.
Which one? You know, it's multiple, right? It's not just like that one.
No, I didn't know that.
So you judging
So
some.
you telling me it's like Naruto where there's like Naruto and then Naruto Shippuden and then like Naruto.
So you like Naruto then?
I do, but I had to like stop watching it because I hated the fact that like literally within like 10 to 12 episodes they were fighting the same fight and I was like, come on, gotta get somewhere.
So they was dragging everything on too long.
Like it's too long. Like for 12 episodes you're just fighting with the same one guy. One fight? Really?
Well, they'll be doing a
Why
lot
you
of.
have to drag it
They
out?
was doing a lot of talking and story times in between fights for some reason.
Not in Naruto. There was this one fight where Sakura was fighting. She was fighting the puppet guy. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
And it happened for so long. I was like, it's the same thing happening for like 10 episodes. Come
I
on.
I do agree with you. I ain't gonna lie. When I tried to rewatch the English parts on Hulu, they was like fighting the same fight for the longest. It'd be
Yeah, and I'm like, come on.
and because then they'll be. Here's the funny part, right? It'll be like multiple fights taking place, and one fight would take an hour, and then they'll go to another fight. So now they don't
Yeah.
even finish that fight. They go to another fight. Then that gonna take an hour. Then
And
they
then
gonna
they
go to
come
another
back,
fight.
and then they come back, and
It'd
then
be like
it's the same
dragging.
thing.
I'm like, bro, like
And then there was a person who actually showed, was it Naruto or Boruto? They showed like the whole list and the parts where it says like what's filler and what's not. Literally half the show is filler. It's insane. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I think that applies to both. To be honest with you,
I'm
both
like,
feel like
that's
included.
crazy.
And the thing about Baruto, it did.
I didn't watch Boruto because I didn't even catch up to it. I'm like, the part where I'm at in Naruto is, I think they were helping out the people where this girl had some type of legendary jutsu or whatever from her like grandfather or something, and one guy was protecting her who had like bubbles or something. That's where I like stopped, or that's where I remember stopping.
You must be ahead of me because I'm at the part where
But
Sasuke
it's
just killed his
younger.
brother.
Oh no, that's after. No, I remember that too. Hold up, where am I at? I remember a little bit after that. Maybe I'm with you. I don't remember. Because I do remember them fighting the brother.
Yeah, that was that part. Actually, I'm about to go into like at that part when he just kills his brother. I think I'm about to go into the pain, that little pain area.
Oh, I finished that too. Hold up. Maybe you're bringing back memories. Maybe I went
Mm-hmm.
further.
Yeah, I think you're a
I
little
think I went
further.
further. I
Yeah,
think I'm
you're
a little
further.
further because they already. Oh, I can't tell you because you didn't go.
Listen, I'm gonna have to
I'm a
read
little
through
bit.
it
I'm a little bit further than that.
further than that.
Just let you know that I passed the whole pain part. I'm at the end of that, I think, and then I stopped because I started watching. I started watching Chainsaw. I started watching Jujutsu. Um, I finished Demon Slayer, but Demon Slayer has more seasons coming up. Um, so is Jujutsu. Jujutsu, I watched the movie for it. That was an amazing movie. I liked it a lot.
I don't think if they don't got English, I don't think I'm a
You don't watch subbed? Are you telling me you don't watch subbed
the
anime?
only TV show I
Jesus,
watched subs. The only
you
TV show I
watch
watched subs with
subbed
was
anime? It's so funny. You have to watch it.
wait hell. I think the only
You
one,
have to watch subbed.
only TV show I watched with subs is Dragon Ball, and
No,
I think I watched subs with Attack on Titan. I think I did. I
you
did.
have to watch Sub Jujutsu. You have to watch Chainsaw Man because I think there's only a couple dub. I don't think they have it all the way dubbed yet because it's really new. Like it just ended like a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago.
It got a hit. It got a hit.
You have to watch. Like it's so. There's still like
That's
there's
like you
some.
tell me to watch One Piece. I'm not watching that.
No, One Piece is long. I would never recommend anybody to watch One Piece unless they have like unless you have patience. You cannot watch One Piece all the way through.
I mean, if you watch Naruto, then you got patience.
No,
What?
no, no. It's a different type of patience because like there's parts of where One Piece, like I watched One Piece on Hulu for in English for a little bit, and then they stopped having dubbed. So then I had to go into another platform to watch it, but it's only subbed. So you have to like transfer over to another platform to watch the rest of it, but it's in subbed. So and they talk really fast. So sometimes I have to like pause it and go back to read what's happening.
Well, that's a long. That's long.
And it's 1,000 and something episodes. So it's really long. And I'm up to like I'm halfway there. So yeah. But it's
That's
really and I didn't think it was gonna be as good as it is, but One Piece is really good. I thought it was gonna be stupid. I thought I was gonna be done with it like episode maybe like 200. I thought I was gonna give up and be like, yeah, no, I'm not watching all 1,000 episodes. But as you meet the characters and as they tell the backstories and as they have the fights, everything is happening kind of so fast, but it's building on what you already know, and it's just really great storytelling and great plot. And like sometimes you're confused on where you are like geographically because like it's not like the Earth now because they have like this whole thing where it's like islands, and the way you go to an island you have to have like this little compass thing that locks onto the magnetic field and then it shows you the next one or whatever. But
yeah.
it's a really good show.
I mean, it
I
probably
would
is, but
recommend I would recommend One Piece, but I mean I didn't want to start it. Other people on my Discord from Brokedale, they were like, "Oh, you should watch One Piece. You should watch One Piece." And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know if I want to watch it." But then I started, and I'm here on episode 500 something. So
I don't know. It might be a nice slow. It might be a nice minute before I jump into that one. It might be.
yeah, you might have to watch a couple more animes to jump into it. I felt like I had to do that. Like I've watched Food Wars. I've watched Totally Bound Hanako. I've watched Attack on Titan. I've watched Jujutsu Kaisen. I've watched Demon Slayer. I've watched what is it? The little kid. It only has one season though. It's on Netflix. It's basically this little kid who doesn't have family and he has his little apartment in Japan and his neighbors take care of him. It's very cute. Um, there's a couple more that I've seen on Netflix that are only a few seasons. I tried going through Naruto, but I don't have on Netflix. It doesn't go all the way through, so I need to keep watching on Crunchyroll. But I don't know if I'll jump back into that soon enough. Maybe after One Piece. I don't know, but yeah, I've watched a lot of anime, but you feel like you have to get there in your own time.
Yeah,
On One Piece.
that's a lot. That's a lot to read, and then you got to keep track. You don't miss a story or something. You might miss one little important piece. That's like that's basically like Attack on Titan.
Each,
Like you
each
literally can't miss
season,
nothing.
each season its own arc. So like one season they're on this island, another season they're on this island. So I mean, you can't really essentially miss it, but you could miss like tiny like little details because when I was watching it, there's this one character who only shows up, I think, in 2 episodes before he shows up later.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, who is this guy? Like, why have I seen him? And then my friend's like, oh, because you saw him back there. I was like, you're right, I did see him back there. Like,
Mm.
you have to remember, like, kind of faces and characters more than the story, because the story it's a very long story, so it's not just little snippets. It's like one whole long story, and there's like flashbacks that he shows. Like right now, they jumped to this island. It's a time skip that they have like between 2 years, so they'd show you what happened beforehand. before the time skip and why they are here now and things like that.
Okay, that's a mean story. That's a long story, but mean
It's a
story.
long story, but it's really, really good.
I mean,
I'm telling you, it's really good. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be anything. That was, oh, it's just about pirates, okay. And then it gets deep, and there's a lot of different, like, there's slaves, there's racism, there's war, there's all this stuff happening. There's like traumas, everything. It's crazy.
mm, might get me interested into it. I don't know if I want to.
You need to, on your own time, you need to jump into it. I don't think should go. I don't think you should watch every single anime before you watch One Piece. I think you should get into it at your own time, but definitely watch it. Because there's some animes that I've seen and I'm like, I don't know if I should get into this. And then just
Exactly, because
you
it's
end up
not hit.
loving
It
it.
don't. It don't hit. It don't hit.
But I go it, like, I know you shouldn't do it, but like based off the title and based off what people say, I'm like, should I watch that? And then you watch it and then you're like, damn, that was actually a good show. Like, you just have to, I feel like you have to push through certain shows to figure out whether you like it or not. Because, like, there was, what was it, Blue Exorcist? I felt like there was a lot of religion in that, and I'm not too fond on, like, pushing religion. When I was watching it, I was like, there's a lot of religion in this. I can't watch it. But I had to, like, watch a few episodes to see if I wanted to watch it or not.
Mm. Okay.
I feel
Okay.
like you always have to give it a little taste test before you
Yeah, a
go
little taste
and
test.
dive into it, you know.
A little taste test. That's funny. But it's been 2 hours already. That's a long
Yeah.
podcast and a good conversation. So we're gonna conclude today's episode. Thank you, Bree, for being on this episode. I plan, since you got a nice little discussion with anime, I plan on getting the other guy in here
All
and
right.
bring y'all both in here to talk about animes. And it's
He
y'all
says
probably
about
gonna be
what
y'all probably talk for like 3 hours in here about anime.
probably.
Cause he knows them and then you know him and then he probably gonna reference you to some animes and you gonna probably reference him some animes. It's gonna be back and forth. But yeah, I'm gonna post this next week, but I will send you the video so you can watch it and do what you're gonna do with it. Thank
All
you for
right.
being here to have a discussion. And it seems like you got rid of your nervousness, so you can start worrying about all that. So with that being said, we're out.
All right. Good night.
Good night.